train enthusiasts, and welcome back to another exciting railfan adventure here on our channel. Hi, I am Lucy Porter with Starbright Productions. Today we will take you to where the railroad action is. So sit back and relax with your favorite drinks and snacks and enjoy the video. Let's go watch some trains. Let's do this, guys.
Never forget the iron tracks of tragedy. Welcome, Starbright fans. Today we bring you a dark chapter in the history of railroads. I'm Clive Reynolds for Starbright Productions, and today we'll show you that dark side of railway history. The Holocaust. A stark word. It represents the systematic state-sponsored persecution and murder of 6 million Jews by the Nazi regime and its collaborators during World War II. The world watched in horror as a civilized society descended into barbarity. The echoes of this genocide still reverberate today, a chilling reminder of humanity's capacity for evil. The Holocaust was a complex and multifaceted tragedy. It was orchestrated through a chillingly efficient system of oppression and extermination. Central to this machinery of death were the railways. The railways, once symbols of progress and connectivity, became instruments of terror and death, transporting millions to their doom. The trains, often packed with men, women and children, traversed across Europe, their destinations, concentration camps, extermination camps and slave labor sites. The names of these camps, Auschwitz-Birkenau, Treblinka, Sobibor, are etched into the annals of history as places of unimaginable suffering and death. The railways were not merely passive bystanders in this tragedy. They were active participants, their wheels greased by the cold indifference and calculated cruelty of the Nazi regime. This essay will delve into the dark history of the railways during the Holocaust. We will examine the roles of two national railway companies, MAV in Hungary and SNCF in France. The Wheels of Malevolence, MAV, and the Hungarian Holocaust. The Hungarian State Railways, or MAV, played a chillingly efficient role in the deportation and murder of Hungarian Jews. Before the German occupation of Hungary in 1944, MAV had already been involved in the transportation of Jewish forced laborers. However, after the occupation, their role took on a horrific new dimension. MAV became an integral part of the Nazis' final solution. Under the direction of Adolf Eichmann, a high-ranking SS officer, the deportation of Hungarian Jews to Auschwitz-Birkenau began. From May to July 1944, over 430,000 Jews were deported from Hungary, the majority in MAV cattle cars. The conditions on these trains were horrific. Crammed into overcrowded cattle cars with little to no food, water or sanitation, many died during the journey. Those who survived the journey arrived at Auschwitz-Birkenau, where they faced a grim fate. MAV's role went beyond just transportation. They profited from the suffering they inflicted. They charged the Nazi regime per kilometre per person transported. This cold, calculated profiteering from human misery is a stark reminder of the depths of depravity to which the Nazi regime and its collaborators sank. SNCF, the French Railways Collaboration and Profit from Despair. The Société Nationale des Chemins de Fer Français, or SNCF, the French National Railway, played a similarly sinister role in the Holocaust. While the French government under Vichy France collaborated with the Nazis, the SNCF's role was more than just following orders. They actively participated in the roundup and deportation of Jews from France to concentration and extermination camps. Between 1942 and 1944, SNCF trains transported approximately 76,000 Jews from France to concentration camps, primarily Auschwitz-Birkenau. Like MAV, SNCF received payment for their services, profiting from the deportation and eventual murder of innocent people. The conditions on the SNCF trains were no less horrific than those on the MAV trains. Jews were crammed into cattle cars, often with no food, water or sanitation. The journeys were long and arduous, and many died en route. Those who survived the journey were met with the horrors of the camps. The SNCF's role in the Holocaust is a dark chapter in French history. It is a stark reminder of the dangers of indifference, collaboration and the pursuit of profit over human life. The SNCF's actions, like those of MAV, demonstrate how easily a society can be seduced by hatred and how quickly the wheels of progress can be turned into instruments of destruction. A leap for freedom. Leo Brechtholz's daring escape. Amidst the darkness and despair of the Holocaust, stories of courage, resilience and resistance emerged. These stories, often overshadowed by the overwhelming scale of the tragedy, serve as beacons of hope, reminding us of the indomitable spirit of those who faced unimaginable horrors. One such story is that of Leo Brechtholz, a young Austrian Jew who escaped deportation from France. In 1942, Leo Brechtholz, just 17 years old, found himself fleeing Nazi persecution. He had already escaped from Austria to Belgium and then to France, only to be captured and interned in a French internment camp. On November 5, 1942, Brechtholz was being transported on an SNCF train from France to Auschwitz. He knew that if he reached Auschwitz, he would likely never leave. As the train sped through the French countryside, Brechtholz, armed with a razor blade he had painstakingly sharpened, saw an opportunity. With the help of another deportee, he cut through the bars of the cattle car and jumped from the moving train. His daring escape was a testament to his courage and will to live. Brechtholz's story, however, does not end with his escape. He went on to dedicate his life to raising awareness about the Holocaust and holding those responsible accountable for their actions. He became a vocal critic of the SNCF, relentlessly calling for them to acknowledge their complicity in the Holocaust and provide reparations to the victims and their families. Section 5. Echoes of Injustice, the ongoing battle for restitution. The horrors of the Holocaust did not end with the liberation of the camps. The survivors, forever scarred by the atrocities they witnessed and endured, faced the daunting task of rebuilding their lives. Many had lost their families, their homes and their possessions. The fight for justice and restitution for the victims of the Holocaust has been a long and arduous one. For decades, survivors and their families have been fighting for recognition, accountability and compensation from the governments and corporations that played a role in the Holocaust. The legal battles have been complex and often frustrating, with survivors facing legal hurdles and resistance from those who seek to evade responsibility. The role of railways like MAV and SNCF in the Holocaust has been a particular focus of these legal battles. Survivors and their families have argued that these companies profited from the deportation and murder of Jews and should be held accountable for their actions. The fight for restitution is not just about financial compensation, it is about acknowledging the suffering of the victims, honoring their memory and ensuring that such atrocities never happen again. It is about holding those responsible accountable for their actions and sending a clear message that the world will not tolerate genocide and crimes against humanity. Section 6. Hungary versus Simon, a defining moment in the pursuit of justice. One of the most significant legal battles in recent years is the case of Hungary versus Simon. This case, which reached the United States Supreme Court in December 2024, has the potential to set a precedent for Holocaust restitution cases. The case was brought by a group of Hungarian Holocaust survivors and their heirs who are seeking to sue Hungary and MAV for their role in the confiscation of their property during the Holocaust. MAV, as we have discussed, not only transported Jews to concentration camps but also confiscated their belongings before deportation. The case hinges on the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, which generally protects foreign governments from being sued in US courts. However, the act includes an expropriation exception, which allows lawsuits in cases where property was taken in violation of international law. The survivors argue that the funds seized from them by MAV were eventually deposited into accounts in the United States, making them subject to US jurisdiction. The case has garnered significant attention, with human rights groups and legal scholars closely watching the proceedings. Section 7. Remembering the Victims, the Sioux City Exhibit, and the Power of Memory. The fight for justice and restitution is intrinsically linked to the importance of remembrance. Remembering the Holocaust is not just about preserving the past. It is about shaping the future. It is about learning from the mistakes of history and ensuring that such atrocities are never repeated. Museums, memorials, and educational initiatives play a vital role in keeping the memory of the Holocaust alive. They serve as powerful reminders of the fragility of human rights and the importance of tolerance, empathy, and understanding. One such initiative is the Holocaust Rails exhibit at Sioux City's Railroad Museum. This exhibit, which tells the story of the railways during the Holocaust, is a testament to the power of remembrance. The exhibit features artifacts, photographs, and personal stories that highlight the horrors of the Holocaust and the role of the railways in facilitating the genocide. In December 2024, the exhibit faced a setback when it was severely damaged by flooding. However, the community rallied around the museum, raising funds and volunteering their time to repair the damage. The exhibit's recovery is a testament to the community's commitment to preserving the memory of the Holocaust. Section 8. The Unfinished Reckoning, Accountability, Reparations, and the Long Road to Justice. The Holocaust was a watershed moment in human history. It forced the world to confront the depths of human depravity and the consequences of unchecked hatred and intolerance. The fight for justice and restitution for the victims of the Holocaust is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of hope. While significant progress has been made in recent decades, the quest for justice is far from over. The legal battles continue, with survivors and their families seeking accountability and compensation from those who profited from their suffering. The fight for Holocaust restitution is not just about the past, it is about the present and the future. It is about ensuring that the victims are not forgotten and that their suffering is not in vain. It's about sending a clear message that the world will not tolerate genocide and crimes against humanity. The Holocaust was a failure of humanity on a monumental scale. It is our collective responsibility to remember the victims, learn from the past, and work towards a future where such atrocities are never repeated. Section 9. Bearing Witness, the Enduring Legacy of the Holocaust Railways. The railways of the Holocaust stand as a chilling reminder of the banality of evil. They demonstrate how easily the instruments of progress and connectivity can be transformed into tools of oppression and death. The stories of MAV, SNCF, and the countless individuals who were transported to their deaths on their trains serve as a stark warning to future generations. The legacy of the Holocaust railways is a complex and multifaceted one. It is a story of suffering, loss, and unimaginable cruelty. But it is also a story of resistance, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit. As we remember the victims of the Holocaust, let us also honor the survivors who have dedicated their lives to sharing their stories and fighting for justice. Their courage and determination serve as an inspiration to us all. The Holocaust was a defining moment in human history. It is our collective responsibility. We Starbright fans to remember the past, learn from its lessons, and work toward a future where such atrocities are never repeated. If you enjoyed this historical video, please remember to like and leave us a comment down below. Oh, and do subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next production.